In this episode, we're digging into gold, silver, copper, and base metals mining in BC, the Yukon, Colorado, Nevada, and Peru with Alianza Minerals President and CEO, Jason Weber. Jason, welcome.
Yeah, thanks very much. Pleasure to be here.
Nice to see you today. You know, Alianza Minerals has a hybrid business model of joint venture funding and also self-funding for projects. Why don't you explain for viewers what that means as far as the structure of the company and what it means also from an investor's perspective?
Yeah, for sure. I guess I look at it more as a discovery-focused business model. Really, what we're trying to provide to our shareholders is access to discoveries. That's projects that are at the drill stage. So we do that in a combination of self-funded projects like our Haldane silver project in the Keno district of the Yukon. And then we back that up with other exploration projects that we've joint ventured out to partners. And currently we have 3 such projects, 2 in Colorado, exploring for copper, and 1 in the Southern Yukon, partnered with Coeur looking for silver.
So what advantages does that bring to you as a company, and why should investors be making particular note of this?
Well, I think the big thing is when you're exploring for these various metals at the drill stage, it can be very expensive. So if we are bringing in partners to help fund that exploration, we give up a little bit of the project for sure. But what it does is gives us access to that funding that our partners can bring to the table. We can then use our funding to focus on our Haldane flagship project. But the kind of the other bonus when you do these joint ventures is you also get access to expertise that some of your partners may have. And of course, with a company like Coeur, we're exploring right next to one of their operating mines. So that exploration team from the mine site is now bringing their expertise to bear at our project. So it's funding, but it's also access to expertise that we just may not have in-house.
So you've mentioned a couple of times now your Haldane silver project in the Keno district. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, this is a really exciting project for us. We announced in early 2021 the results of a late season program from the year prior, where we made a significant drill intersection that was kind of, it's a discovery, but it was even bigger than that. It was sort of proof of concept for us that here we are exploring in a very well-known silver district, one of the highest grade silver districts in the world. It's thought that there wasn't much available new ground to be looked at. Yet here we have this Haldane project on the edge of the district that really hadn't been explored coherently over its 100-year history. And we were able to make a discovery of a wide 8.72 meter wide vein that was above ore grade cutoff for mines in the Keno district at 311 grams per ton silver. So we showed that we could find wide veins that were mineable widths at mineable grades. And we were able to follow that up later in 2021 with additional drilling, hitting even more high-grade material, a meter of 1,315 grams silver, intersections like that. So we were able to follow that up with more high-grade, which is really sort of the keynote of the Keno Hill district is high-grade silver.
So what stage are you at right now? Have you proven out the resource to the point where you're able to start to attract the kind of attention that you need to move that project forward?
It's still early stages. We've got 9 holes into we call this target the West Fault target. We're just starting to grow it out now. We have it identified over 100-meter strike length and 90 meters down plunge on the vein. We think I identified the orientation of the high-grade chute within this vein that we'll continue to follow up in 2022 drilling. So it's still early stages, but we feel we're on to a nice new vein discovery here that we're going to be able to follow up as we go on through this year. What's really exciting, though, is there's other targets on the property that we have at a similar stage as West Fault and some are earlier. So we have other opportunities to grow silver deposits at Haldane.
Do you have the financial resources right now to continue out your exploration and drilling programs for 2022 and I'm sure into 2023?
Of course, the partner-funded programs that we haven't talked about, but we have potentially 3 programs there that partners will be funding. So those are obviously covered. For Haldane, we'll need to add to our treasury to conduct the program we want. We would like to be aggressive there this year. As I've said, we feel we're onto something. It's in potentially a strong silver market, which I think many people think going forward here is going to be the case. We want to be active growing that deposit. So yeah, there'll be some fundraising, whether that's through private placements or through strategic investments, corporate partnerships. We'll see, but there will be some funding required for that program.
So that's not your only project. What else are you working on that will be of interest to investors?
So probably the closest project to Haldane is another silver project. This one in the Southern Yukon, right at the BC Yukon border, called Tim, which we have in partnership with Coeur, who has the silver tip deposit just south of the BC Yukon border. We're about 19 kilometers as the crow flies from the Tim deposit. Coeur is earning an 80% interest in that project, but basically by taking it to feasibility over an 8-year period. Last year, they did a very extensive ground program identifying targets for the next phase of drilling. We should have results of that out fairly soon, but that's another exciting project that Coeur is taking the lead on. They're the operator, and they'll move that forward. And then also we have some copper projects in Colorado. We picked these up last year in partnership with a company called Cloudbreak Discovery. And together we marketed those to companies, brought in a partner, Allied Copper, who's going to be drilling Klondike and State Line, 2 copper projects that we identified. One of them 8 kilometers on trend from an operating mine, exploring the same rocks. So exciting targets, nice high-grade copper showings on surface, and an area, again, that really hasn't been looked at for its copper potential in a long, long time.
What's the number one thing that you want investors right now who are watching this interview to take away from this to say, yeah, I want to be paying attention to you and potentially put my money behind the company?
Yeah, I think when we often get caught up in the metals markets and what the silver price is or what the copper price is, but for a company like ours, we're in the business of discovery. It helps when the prices are up, but the real value that we can add is by making a discovery. So a company like Alianza, with potentially 4 active drill programs this year, has a lot of potential for discovery. And so I think when you look at companies like ours, it's that access to a discovery situation which is going to greatly enhance the share price. That's really what I think of when I look at exploration companies like ours. So you've got Haldane in a district that's known for its high grade. We've got high grade intersections, just like what they're mining next door. And then you follow that up with another couple near mine exploration projects. I think it adds up for a nice potential for discovery in 2022 for Alianza shareholders.
When can we look for more news from you?
Well, we're just getting into the field season now. So I think, basically from this point forward, the rest of the year, I think it gets very busy for news. We'll be ramping up programs probably starting in June, and then those will go through into the fall. So it'll be a busy year for us on that front, and I think that'll start very soon.
Well, I hope we can get you back on the show for some of those updates. I know that there are viewers who will be watching. Thanks very much for your time today.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.